Hello, welcome to episode 113 of Daryl Show Your Work. All right, so in this episode, I'm going to continue with my overall theme of post exploitation activities of Windows specific target hosts. All right, so in this episode, I'm going to be focusing on how we can then cover our tracks once we've done some exploitation. We may have conducted some other post exploitation activities. Now we're ready to make our exit, but we want to be able to clear our tracks here. So I'm going to show how to do that by clearing out Windows event logs. All right. So before I jump into this, since I am talking about post exploitation, this is good. Just want to preface this video by giving my usual disclaimer by saying that this is for educational, ethical, and research purposes only. Any sort of malicious actions that may directly or indirectly come from someone watching this video, I do not take responsibility for, nor do I condone. All right, so the three different type of event logs that we're going to be taking a look at here are application logs, which store application program events like startups, crashes, and etc. System logs, which store system events like startups and reboots. And security logs, which store security events like password changes and authentication failures. All right, so to get started, and also I'm going to be I'm going to be jumping to back towards the attacker machine and the target machine, just to show how I'm going to, as the attacker, going to generate some log data for us, and then as the on being on the target machine, also as the attacker, I'm going to show how we can then access those logs and delete them. All right, so to get started here, I've already done some things prior to taping, already done some discovery and gotten our target host's IP address where they're located at 10.3.25.28. And I also have got us some interpreter session via the bad blue pass through buffer overflow exploitation of that vulnerability, which I've shown plenty of times. So wanted to just jump straight ahead to our interpreter session to get started. All right, so I'm gonna start out by doing some a little bit of enumeration first. So let's say sysinfo. All right, so we can see that I have a 32-bit interpreter session with a 64-bit version of Windows Server 2012 revision 2 operating system, which isn't a problem here. I shouldn't need to migrate to a 64-bit session to do the things that I want to do here. But let's see who I'm logged in as and what level privileges that I may have going on. All right, so I do have administrative privileges, which are necessary to do what I need to do because as an administrator, they tend to be the only types of users that have the ability to delete these types of log files. So if you're looking to do this, this is why privilege escalation is important, so you can be able to conduct post escalation activities like this. Excuse me, post exploitation activities such as these to best be able to cover your tracks, and have an administrator account to be able to clear out the logs definitely helps in doing that. Okay, so I am going to let's see, I'm going to switch over to the attacker machine, which is excuse me, the um the victim machine here, which of course is a Windows system, again running Microsoft Windows 2012. All right, and I'm going to search for event viewer because that's where we're going to see the logs. So I'm going to say event. All right, and that starts to come up. Not sure what happened to PowerShell there. All right, so right here where it says Windows logs, I'm going to expand that. All right, and we can see those three types of Windows logs that I was speaking about in the beginning: the application logs, the security logs, and the system logs. All right. So the system, all these logs should be logged according to date and time. So from latest to earliest. So if we can see here that the latest recorded date and time is 12 22 excuse me, December the 22nd, 2025, and the latest time of the latest event was 7:30 p.m. here. And if I scroll down, all right, we can see it goes back. Let me see. I don't know why. There we go. It goes all the way back to September 23rd, 2020. So it has nearly 2 years, over 2 years here of logs in its excuse me, 2 years of 5 years of logs in its history here. All right, and I'm going to go to security. All right, we just want to take a look at that. So it's important that we take record of these times. So we want to make sure that I'm actually generating these logs as I as I jump back into the attacker machine, so we can see as far as security, any sort of security logs. The last event here was recorded at 7:33. So we have application log 7:30, security log 7:33, and let's check the system log. Last event here was 7:36 p.m. All right, so I am going to jump back into the attacker machine and let's generate some log data here. All right, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go into a shell and I'm going to change, and I showed how to do this in a previous video. I'm going to show how to change the administrator password. All right, so now that I'm in here, because I'm an administrator, I can change the administrator password. So I'm going to say net user. All right. And since I already know, no need to enumerate users here, since I'm logged in as an administrator, so technically I'm going to change my own password here. Well, at least the password of the account that I'm using right now. Of course, the actual administrator is going to be in for a rude awakening. All right, so say administrator, and then let's see. I want to change the password to, let's do hacker 123 3 2 1. All right. All right. So it looks like that completed successfully. Now let's switch back to the target machine and let's look at see if there were any new security logs generated. All right, so we can see that. So remember the last that last user log that we looked at before was generated, not user log, security log that was generated before was at 7:33. Now we have two new ones at 7:41. So let's take a look at those. All right, so we can see here that it has my user ID here. All right, and let's see what actions that was taken. So we can see here password last set. All right, and that's there we go to action 7:41. All right, and expires never. So we can see here just by looking at this, by going through the log here, what action was taken at what time. All right, and so if someone were to come behind me and audit these files or look at these logs, they could be able to track what actions I took. That could look like either a forensic investigator, that could look like a SOC analyst that got some type of SIEM alert. So this is again, this is the reason why we want to be able to clear out these logs. All right, let's open up this log. And this law pretty much just, I mean, just gets straight to the point. It says an attempt was made to reset the account's password, and it gives the account here. Okay, so both of these logs here are providing evidence of what I just did as far as changing the um, the um, the account password here. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to be able to clear out these event logs, and it's fairly easy when using Meterpreter. So I'm going to jump back into Meterpreter here. So I'm going to say I'm going to do a Control C to terminate this channel, this shell channel. All right, now within Meterpreter, I'm just going to give it one simple command. All right, I'm going to say clear ev And see, so all those, remember all of those event logs that were from 20, that was from September 23rd, 2020 until today. They've all been wiped out. So we have like 15, we almost have 16,000 records from the security log wiped out, 527 from the system log wiped out, 261 records from the application logs wiped out. All right, we could verify this by jumping back to the target machine here. All right, so I'm gonna click on this on Windows logs just so those refresh. Now by going to application, nothing's there. Security log. The only thing we can see here is that the administrator account, the audit log was cleared. So all we can see is that action was done, but that's all we see. So there's no story to tell as far as, but I mean, surely the administrator is going to know that they didn't do that, and that they didn't come into the system at the time that I'm in here and conduct this action. So they're going to know that this has been compromised, but there's going to not really be much of a story to tell here, at least from the perspective of logs of how I've done everything I've done here as far as clearing the log, entering the system, and whatever I did once I entered the system and it covered my tracks. That story is not going to really be here if those things weren't caught in advance to me clearing out these logs. Now, of course, what you will want to do if you are on the blue team, or if you are a security analyst or a system administrator, you always want to bag these logs up. So there should be some type of recovery point objective or recovery time objective in which you can restore these logs back up to be able to then be able to pinpoint everything that went on as close up to the time here that I've been able to clear out these logs. All right, so you could at least be able to have an idea of what I did by backing up and restoring those logs. All right, and then so in system here again, the system log file was cleared. So we just in security log, system log, we just have that event happening, and basically nothing else. All right, so again, the takeaway from this video is showing why it's always good to have backups, and and most importantly of your log data. So if you are breached, if something does happen and then the attacker clears out your log data because they were able to escalate their privileges to administrative privileges and be able to conduct this action, well, you can at least restore those logs up to a certain point and up to a certain time to be able to then be able to at least piece together some sort of narrative as far as how the attacker got in, what on what objectives were they able to achieve before coming out of here and clearing this data. All right, so please like, share, subscribe, most importantly, show your work, and until next time, take care of yourself and God bless.